So in this video, or in this video sequence, I'm going to start looking at adding a person into a scene or creating a scene. You'll see here, just ignore this bit. You'll see here, I've already deleted my background. I'm going to use the select tool. For the time being, I'll show you some other things I've got open. I've got a background. I downloaded this off the internet. It's a good high resolution image. It's basically just a white background in the studio. I've got a couple of other things I'm interested in playing around with. I haven't played with these yet, so I'm not sure how they're going to work. Got some images of some flowers. Oh, going to have to watch out for that. Somebody's credit there. I've got a vintage wallpaper. You know I love vintage wallpapers. And another vintage wallpaper. Not sure how they're going to work. Let's get started. So first I'm going to add in a white background. So I've clicked on, let me just go back a step. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but I don't know. So I'm going to do it the dodgy way that I do it. I know that I want to add in, where is it? White Psych. I want to add this in first. So I'm just going to click on it up here, drag it down, let go. I'm going to click on, we're calling it Bunny Theme. So I've got the Move tool selected. I'm going to click on this, click on it again, drag it over, and I've got my white background there. Let's move this out of the way, drag it back up there, go back to Bunny Scene. Now I've got Show Transform controls selected. I'm using the Move tool, and at the moment I've got this layer on top. I'm okay with that. So I'm just I only really want to use this sort of area. I've used this background as opposed to just painting a white background because I like the gradation in it. It's kind of nice natural light. I'm just going to stretch, onto that top corner, stretch, press enter on my keyboard, and that puts it in place. Click on my layer over here. If you click on it, it's kind of a smart thing to do sometimes. Double click on it. ITECYC. If you name your layers, it helps you, especially when you end up with 20, 30, 40 layers. Double click, let's say VUNNY. So I'm going to click on White Psych, drag it down, and I've got some. When I was deleting my background, I wasn't as tidy as I thought I was. Control plus, and I've got some green up here, which I really don't like. So I've got to click on my bunny layer, erase tool. Now that erase is going to start rubbing that up, but that's tiny. So I'm going to increase the size of it. I'm just going to use a hard edge razor, increase the size of it, clean up my background. Now, probably really should be careful. If you're doing this properly, be careful and go in and really carefully tidy all of this up so that you don't get any background stuff that you don't want. I'm using that keyboard shortcut, which is the bracket, which is next to the P button. The right goes up, the left goes down. I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's going to be okay for a demonstration. Control minus. So I've got the person on a background. It's okay. I want to make it more interesting. So let's start mucking around with, I want to add in vintage blue wallpaper. Click on it, drag it down over here somewhere. Move tool. Click it. Hang on, I don't want to drag it onto there. I want to drag it onto Bunny Scene. Click on it again, drag it across. Stretch it up. Enter on the keyboard. Let's get that out of the way. Come across the Bunny Scene again. Drag it below to here. Not bad. It's sitting a bit jarring. I'm going to add a blending mode. There's a couple of things I could do. I could just click on this, see where it says opacity. That's not bad. So that's just basically fading it in and out. Another thing I can do is use blending modes. Probably not going to give a very good example. What blending modes do, if I turn off those layers, I've got white cyc on the bottom, I've got vintage blue wallpaper here, and I've got my bunny on the top. I like this bit of gradation, and I'll add that to here. So I want these two layers to interact more. Up here is called a blending mode. If I just go up and click on any, you can go through and click on them individually, and they'll make differences. They change the way that the pixels in these two layers interact. It's not bad. Another way of doing it, which is a bit quicker, is you just click on any layer and then use your up and down keys on the keyboard, and they'll come up with all sorts of different things. Examples are going too great so far. Let's do it. I don't mind that. That's a bit. I'm going to go with that. Okay, it's still looking okay. I want it to be better. I'm just going to see what happens when I add in this vintage wallpaper flower. Click, drag, click, drag. It's just looking a bit more promising. These layers are now interacting a bit more sympathetically. I'm going to hit OK to enter that. Put that up there. Come back to bunny now. I'm going to add a blending mode to this one as well and see what happens. It's not really all that predictable using blending modes. You really just have to try them. I don't really like any of them yet. What I'm going to do is always a process of experimentation. Just going to try lowering the opacity on that a bit. I kind of like that. It's fun. So I want to move this background here. The flower to kind of be positioned up here somewhere, which means I'm going to have to stretch this a bit more. Okay. Now I'm kind of coming up with an interesting image here. I like this. I've got interesting textures coming through here, or patterns. This isn't really sitting very well with my background. I'm going to do that in the next little video.